TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Jared, hey, we're gonna need you to tone it down with the Summer Friday thing, okay?
What are you talking about?
Well, for one, it's not summer anymore.
Oh, really?
Coconut. Also, who is this?
I'm the caddy.
Oh, he's my intern.
Sorry, intern. I'm his intern.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
No golfing in the office, okay? Summer Fridays are over. You can keep the Hawaiian shirt, but the rest of this stuff, all right? Are you grilling?
Oh, yeah. Did you want a burger or a hot dog?
No, grilling in the office.
That's a good point. We should take this outside.
No, that don't. You put that right back down.
Yo, it's all in the hips.
Oh, dude, come on, we gotta go. Let's go.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and good morning. It is that time for the Breakfast Bankroll with good friend and colleague, Mr. Andrew McInnis, as we go across the Canadian border to talk some pucks. I like to say pucks, props, dots, and today we're going to do a little spin the wheel, I'd like to say, with Andrew. We got at least about a month in the NHL, give or take. We're almost at that quarter bowl. Who's hot, who's not? Let's take a look at some futures. And, of course, that is brought to you by WagerWire.com. Head on over to Google Play, download the app, it's free. I promise you, myself, Travis, Zach, Amber, Hartley, Jay Berry, the rest of that team of family will take good care of you, of course. And Viva Tequila Seltzer, CT Bets Team Family, second to none. The East Coast is cuckoo for coconut. And last but not least, of course, as he's texting me right now, Terry Smith, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Head on over to Facebook. Introduce yourself to Terry Smith, and while you're there, head on over to atlantasteaksandseafood.com, and he is picking up the turkeys as we speak. So Terry will not follow Andrew McInnis this week, but we'll get him on at some point. So without further, and a shout out, of course, to Noah Frank behind the glass doing all this great work. So if he's here, let's bring him in, the one and only Mr. Andrew McInnis. He is here.
We're here. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How was your weekend?
It was good. I went 2-1 in the NHL. It was a relatively quiet Friday night, and the NFL. Look, Jeff, I'm just happy I'm staying away. It is pure madness. I'm barely even making any moves in that one. Crazy stuff. But I'll tell you, it was personal. Celebrated a friend's birthday, and the older I get, the more I realize how nice it is to get everybody together. And that person I was celebrating actually has the same birthday as you. So you're looking a year older as well over there, Jeff. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was chaos. I spent my birthday up at 3 a.m., on the road at 3:30 a.m. Had to get to Boston College for 65 tents and tables and chairs for the BC Syracuse game. And on the way up, and I have a Honda Pilot, and my car, which is heavy, the wind was howling, and it doesn't bode well in this spot here. It's a wind tunnel. It is right in front of Conti Forum, where BC plays all their hockey games, and then it's shaded by a parking garage and a campus where they live. I'm drawing a dorm, and then it's connected to the football stadium as well. So we got about 50 of the tents up, and next thing you know, there goes one to Kansas, there goes one to Quebec, and they're looking at us like, I think we better take these down. So everyone expecting the ambiance of tent, and they got their little well, they had their table and their chairs, they just didn't have a tent for to tailgate. So
It sounds like it was for the best. It sounds like it was for the best.
1000%, because someone could get up and they start spinning like tops, and you add a few mimosas and maybe a shot or two, and you probably start dancing.
You might not even notice. Jeff, I got to tip my hat to you real quick about last night's win that you had. You and I both low volume Monday night in the NHL, both team totals. How about those Hurricanes? I think it's 8 straight now that they've gotten at least 4 goals. And, I'm saying to myself, shame on me for not being on them enough. And hats off to you, because honestly, all day I liked it. On my shows, I liked it. And I didn't have it in me to do it because I felt like I was late to the party. I was like, you know what? If I haven't been on them, their team total the past week and a half, I don't deserve to be on it now. And then bang, you had 4 goals in 25 minutes. You got to love that. So you and I, 2 sweat-free winners, Dallas and Carolina last night.
And the funny is, I went against the Canes a few days ago, and I really was a little nervous of that. I had the Avs. I think that Avs team is getting healthier. They do have issues in the back end and the goaltending. Down 2-0, down 3-2, and next thing you know, I'm like, well, at least get it to 3-3, please. They scored 3 goals in the last 2 minutes. I'm like, bang. And yesterday, hats off to you in Dallas. I got people, of course, because our game was later. And, no one gives the duck boats and parade as we got the Winthrop team total under 72, and they barely scored 50. No applause. No one's reaching out for me. They're like, holy shit, Jeff, did you see Dallas? They just got a touchdown. And I'm like, I know. And that was my buddy Andrews. And I left it on the desk. And then in come the Hurricanes, a team that we liked all last year. And it's one of those teams, I'm not going to say like the Leafs, but I am going to say you got to respect them, and they got to be at some point in your portfolio. Just set it and forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. You nailed it. And I think, Jeff, they're playing a different brand of hockey right now. And I really respect it. I don't know if it's the personnel on the team, or I don't know if it's the coaching staff implementing these strategies. But I mean, think back to last season. How many times were you looking at team totals for the Hurricanes, right? Like you give out money lines as well. And I felt like, if I can remember correctly, when you would send out Carolina, it would be a lot of money lines, because this team, they were probably last year, I would say top 5 in the league in wins without getting to 4. There were some teams that did not need to get to 4. Carolina was one of them. Maybe this year it's the opposite of a team like the Leafs. They've actually reversed roles, these two teams. And one of them said, hey, I'm going to win low scoring games this year. And the other team said, you know what? I'll pick up where you left off. We're going to score 4 or 5 every game. It's really impressive. But how do we manage it from a portfolio perspective? Do we wait till they go on a losing streak, or do we just get in now? That's what I always wonder about futures, right? Because you don't want to just buy in on something. Like I saw Terry, who talks on my show, he wanted to get Kaprizov for the Hart Trophy. You don't want to bet him when he's already, you know what I mean? When he's in first place, right?
Andrew, for some reason, you and breaking news. When Andrew comes on, everyone, sit tight, because we didn't have to break the news that the OC was fired in Chicago, but Noah has just issued the bell. Dak Prescott officially done for the year, season-ending hamstring injury as the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you will hear this, Andrew. Let's tank for Shadir and Sanders. And oh, by the way, while we're adding Sanders, let's add prime time, Coach Prime Time as the head coach. Thoughts of Dallas? Thoughts of the free fall? And are you in on the tank for Shador and Coach Deion Sanders?
Well, look, it appears to me, Jeff, no matter who this team adds, no matter what they try and do in free agency, things just do not work out for them. And you got to also remember that Derrick Henry was an option for them. Let's not forget about that. Let's not forget that they could have been in the mix for a guy like Derrick Henry. They had a swing and a miss there, and they've got the running back room that they had, which obviously hasn't worked out. But they're a complete mess. I think there's not one. This is how you know a team needs to reset and a team needs to tank, like you said, Jeff, is if you can't give one or two reasons why they're losing. If you can't just give one or two, right? Oh, well, this kicker just keeps missing timely kicks. Well, this receiver just dropped 3 balls. Well, they have no pass protection. If the list goes on and on and on and on, then it's probably not a very good thing. And I'm curious to see from a sports betting perspective what type of lines we see, because last week we had, the quote unquote sharp versus public on that Dallas game, and we know how that went. The public has done very well in certain scenarios like that one. It kind of goes to show right now some teams, if they're dead, they're already dead. There's no need to try and make money off them. But I'm curious with Cooper Rush if we can make money from a betting standpoint on them. But Jerry's World, not very happy right now, Jeff.
No, and no pun intended. In high stakes or Yahoo ESPN Fantasy League, don't rush to the window to get Cooper, as some people did. They wanted to get ahead of the curve. He was 5 or 6-1 in his stint last year, threw for 45 yards against the Philadelphia Eagles. Micah Parsons talking to the left side, to the right side. It is an absolute mess as we speak. And we were doing so great in the hockey talk. I wanted to bring something to the table because I know we have a short window here with you. You're a busy gentleman and you got a show right after this. So I want to be able to fit it in. Noah, if you could do us a favor and pull up the futures market here, and then I'm going to carry it from my end here. We can zoom in here. Everyone, if you want to follow along, you can go to wagerwire.com/graph. They do an amazing job here on the futures market, whether we're talking NHL, MLB, NBA, college, you name it. We can pull up a ticket from the start of the season to where it is today. And I figured it'd be a great time to bring Andrew McInnis here and let's start talking some hockey. So Andrew, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to say, let's start with the East.
Okay.
And give me a couple teams that you want to see where they started. And this might do us a little dragging here, but give me some teams and we'll pull them up and see what they look like.
Let's look at the Capitals. I think the Capitals might be a good team to take a look at right now. I'd be curious to see where their betting value currently holds as far as the Eastern Conference. Curious a little bit about a team like the Boston Bruins. We've talked a lot about them between you and myself about this team, the up and downs with them. Another team in the East I'm going to throw out there, not sure if they've moved too much, but the Ottawa Senators. And I just want to say, Jeff, I'll fill some air here while you're doing that. We've talked a lot about the Boston Bruins and their coaching staff and Monty, and rightfully so. And we've talked about how you can't fire 23 players, so you got to look at towards a coach. But one thing that I was listening to a podcast about, and they were talking about how when a team goes on a bad losing streak, and it's in the month of October or early November, it looks way worse than if they went on that exact same streak in January. And the funny thing is realistically, depending on, how you end up at the end of the season, does it really matter when those streaks happened? Because people cannot be more down on this Bruins team. They can't. There's no way they can be more down. If you look at the standings, they're 4 points lower than the Maple Leafs right now. Or I think 4 or 5 points. So, I think we got to slow the roll on this team. I love it. I love seeing it. Like, I love media engagement. I love seeing this NHL. I love how many people are doing shows now, but nobody is saying anything good about the Boston Bruins right now. Not one person.
No, and the locals, it's the inevitable. And we've been talking now for a couple of weeks. I talked about it last week on our show here on Tuesday, and I also talked about it on your channel. It's the inevitable. Last week, he staved off the firing by winning 2 close games over the weekend, and 1 good game, 2 bad games. And this is just for the Eastern Conference, and this is going back to June 6th. So buying early, okay, and to where they are right now. These are based on $100 bets. So if you had the Bruins for a $100 bet, they are now valued at $60, so they're 40 cents short. Great time to buy into the Bruins, unless you think they're going to drop further. You talked about Ovechkin and the Capitals. What a story they've been. A $100 investment right now is worth $166. And you talked about the Ottawa Senators. A $100 investment is now worth $140 just in the Eastern Conference. Talk about that, and then I will hit the Stanley Cup and see where they are for the Stanley Cup.
I think it's one of those things with this Washington Capitals team that the big story around them last year was that Ovechkin is going for the chase to beat Wayne Gretzky's record. And for people out there looking to jump in on futures, looking to jump in on make the playoff futures, looking at jumping in on, certain conference or divisional futures, it's a motivational factor for this team, for the ownership. And it correlates with the team being good with their superstar getting this record. And as somebody living on the far east coast of Canada, I'll tell you what, there's one team in the East I'm not happy about that's not doing very well. And that's the Pittsburgh Penguins, because the fact that Sidney Crosby might end up his career ending the way it's on pace to ending is an absolute disgrace, with now Ovechkin looking to make the playoffs once again this year and the Pittsburgh Penguins looking as rough as they are. The Ottawa Senators, they've been building for a while. They have a good mix of young guys, older guys. They get Allmark from Boston. I think they deserve to have a little bit of value right now. And they're playing in the Battle of Ontario tonight against the Maple Leafs. And of course, looking at that Bruins team, as I just mentioned, I think we'll hold the panic on them. I think if anything, we're going to be able to make some money betting on the Bruins in the next couple weeks.
And the Penguins are even lower than the Bruins. A $100 investment for the Penguins right now, down to $36. And I saw a tweet, and I don't think they would do it. But they're like, make hockey happy and make Sydney happy, trade him to the Avs. Is there any chance that they would ever move Sydney?
See, obviously I don't know the guy, but I think that if he was to go, he probably would do it in the off season, so the team gets more time to reset. But, and there's a big but here, if they get a decent right? Like, if you get a decent enough haul back on your end, and I'm talking picks, whichever team ended up ever trading, Crosby would have to give up so many picks.
Noah, I think we lost Andrew. Bring him up when he comes here. I got the updated totals here to win the Stanley Cup, and this is just mind-blowing here. Hopefully, here he comes. I got you, Andrew. You got us?
I got you. But Tatum's getting in the way, Jeff, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy about how things are looking to end right now for Sid.
Well, look at the futures here. The Bruins plus 32.05. The Capitals plus 44.53. The Senators plus 54.40. And you can get the Pittsburgh Penguins at plus $13,603. Is there any beer and pizza money there, Andrew? We're having a little tough time here with the internet there. Apologies there. Hopefully we can get Andrew back here. Let's see if he can spin back in. Come on, Andrew. Let's spin her in. Go follow Andrew at McInnis Picks on the X. You can go follow him on YouTube at McInnis Picks as well. Find all his work on Wager Talk at... Let me see. I should have it right in front of me. Yes. At wt.biz/am. I'm going to see if we can get him up. We got a lot of people here. Standing room only. Can't thank you guys enough. While you're here and we're waiting to see if we can get Andrew back, jump on over to YouTube at East Coast Sports Investors. Subscribe. It's free. While you're there, jump on over to McInnis Picks as well. Subscribe. It's free there. We might have lost him for good here, Noah. Let's go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. He's back. Let's bring him up, Noah. We got you. It was fun. It was a fun little thing. I want to be able to add that as the season goes. We'll next week we'll do the West Coast and we'll add the West. Yep. But it's always fun to add to the portfolios. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 games on the ice tonight. Anything jump out at you, Andrew?
Yeah, Jeff, I want to apologize. I'm not sure if that was my end, mixture of both, whatever that was, but and hopefully we can get into it more. I love talking futures with you, and the Wager Wire program is really cool. Look, there's 2 spots that stick out to me as kind of interesting ones. I'm curious your opinion here. The New Jersey Devils as under today. I think they're a live dog, and I think that's.
Yeah, we're having a tough time with his internet here. Let's see if we can get him back one more time. Apologies to everyone watching and listening. The internet is undefeated, guys. It is never lost, I'm telling you. And we try. We're hardwired here back on the East Coast, and I know Andrew has done everything he can possibly do. And it's just brutal. And he's got another spot coming up here, so we're trying to squeeze it all in here. I don't know if we're going to be able to bring him back. I'm going to pause for 1 second. Talking about the 1 to 7 games, he was just getting into the New Jersey Devils, who tonight traveled to Florida, opened up overnight. Florida minus 145. You could have grabbed the Devils plus 125 and under over a 6.5 juiced under. Under minus 20 cents, and now currently 137. There. So New Jersey taking a little money. No, let's bring him up one more time before he's got to leave.
We'll get these picks out one way or the other. One way or the other. The Devils are live dogs tonight. Watch out. Watch out for them. Look, they won a handful of games in a row, but Then they had a clear drop and they lost 1-0 in a stinker against the San Jose Sharks. Just like nobody likes to, lose to a big team that's the number one team in the league, nobody also likes to lose to the worst team in the league either, Jeff. And I'm not usually a fan of the handicapping term sandwich spot. It's not really a situation that ever sticks out to me. But if there's ever a situational sandwich spot, this is the one. I mean, you play a couple good teams in a row, then you play one of the worst teams in the league with San Jose. You clearly don't show up for that one on a Sunday. And then here on a jam-packed Tuesday night in the NHL, you get to be nice live dogs on the highway against the Florida Panthers. I do think that they're a team to watch out for tonight. Some nice plus money on the New Jersey Devils. Now, here's one that's kind of interesting, and this is the one I wanted your thoughts on here, because the number has gone down. And I had a feeling this would happen because why wouldn't it go down? The Rangers, Winnipeg. I like the Rangers at home at MSG, and I didn't want to jump on it on minus 130, 135 because I knew that the people would be saying, are you kidding me? You're going to give me this price on the Winnipeg Jets? But I've gone against them, I think, maybe one or two times, but I remember the one time I did, it was the Leafs, and they took down the Jets in their first loss of the season. And I do think this is a really good bet on spot for the New York Rangers to get the job done. And they're minus 115. And this is the thing. So you can follow steam, or you can do what Mr. Dawson always says and trust the opening number. And this is a good example of that. Am I wrong here, Jeff? The opening number being minus 135. Are the books stupid? Do they not know what they're doing? Or are people on the wrong side by jumping all over Winnipeg tonight?
Well, I think you grab two games that are two lightning rods because you're kind of caught in between, meaning when are you going to catch the Devils at plus 125 on the road? I don't care if they're playing, Guy Lafleur and Ken Dryden. I mean, at this point, you're grabbing the Devils. And so now you got that same thinking process here because I'm looking at this and I knew exactly where you're going. From a general public standpoint, you're going to give me the New York Rangers at home at only minus 119. Again, I don't care who they're, because that Winnipeg team, they're a tough nut to crack here, and it's a flat 6. They're telling us this is 3-2, maybe an empty netter, 4-2. Which goalie is going to stand on their head here?
And if you're going to give me that, I'm going to take the Rangers with Shesterkin all day long here. Let's not look, I'm proud to see Winnipeg doing as well as they are, but let's not act like they're just unbeatable and nobody can take them down, especially when the Rangers have the home ice advantage. They get the last change. That's when they're playing their best. You got to respect some of these books like Pinnacle, Pinnacle all the way down to minus 115, which is quite drastic. And then, of course, you got the FanDuels and Caesars of the world at minus 120, 125. But nonetheless, I feel like that's kind of one worth looking at. Another point, actually, as well, I got to mention this. And I've been doing this, and I'm sure you noticed it. And some guys I used to work with, of course, Ian Cameron and and Alex and those guys, they've been doing a system, and I was doing it as well and didn't even know they were doing it too, which is betting the first period over when a game features a team that is fresh off a shutout. And I'm telling you, Jeff, I've gotten lucky on some of these, a goal with a minute to go or a minute and a half, but it's been really profitable. And in that game we just spoke about with New Jersey and Florida, that angle does apply, of course, with them off getting shut out 1-0 against the San Jose Sharks. So at this point, I've made enough money with that system that I'm going to keep on betting it until it proves me otherwise. And just like you with the team totals, how you're looking for the best prices, right? The plus money or the short price. You're not laying anything with the team totals. I've been feeling the same way about these first period overs. I'm staying away from a over 1.5 minus 145. But if I can get an over 1.5 minus 120 or 125, that's the sweet spot, I think, because you're not going to get anything better than that in the NHL right now. But the over 1.5 is a good one. And then New York and Edmonton. That one is kind of intriguing to me here because guess what? Edmonton's off a game where they're going to be feeling real good about themselves. They're flexing their muscles after they absolutely beat down the Vancouver Canucks Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. Nobody likes the Islanders in this spot, do they? Give me the under in this one. I think the under correlates with the New York Islanders.
Yeah, and again, that was when we talk team totals here, I will say this. If you like Edmonton, the overnight was a 6.5, juiced under -20 cents. Edmonton -200. It is now a flat 6 at the Circa. Good morning, Mr. Benson, Mr. Stevens, with still now -220. So more money came into Edmonton side. So don't go run to the window and play Edmonton regulation. Don't go play Edmonton minus the goal and a half, okay? If you like Edmonton, you're not going to lay the -220 here. Take their team total over. Take that -220 into about a plus money or an even there. I know you got another spot going. The crawler, we just brought it up. Everyone knows to find you at McInnis Picks on X. An amazing run, a nice 8-2 run, and you got a great promo at Wager Talk here. I'll let you tell everyone what you got to offer.
Jeff, I really appreciate it. And again, I'm sorry about the difficulties there with the connections. Never a dull moment between the two of us, but time always flies by. NHL 150 is the promo code for anybody looking to get in long term. You know, a lot of times I come on here, I'll give out a 3-day code or a 7-day code. If anybody wants to join me for the remainder of the season, NHL 150 will take $150 off, and that will get you all the futures, all the sides, totals, props, team totals up until the Stanley Cup final. A few people took advantage of it yesterday, and I hope you guys will join me on it. We're on a good run. We got some good plays going today in the NHL. And while you're at it, make sure you grab Jeff's college basketball because we're making money with that. And you got to love when you take a team total under and 20 points, Jeff. I'm disappointed I missed that one because if I tailed you on that one, you would have been hearing from me. So keep it going. I'm always keeping an eye out for your picks, and I'm always rooting for you, Jeff.
Andrew, we gave you 17 minutes to your next spot. We can't thank you enough. We'll be back on your channel on Friday morning. Have a great day, and we'll catch up throughout the week.
Thanks, Jeff. See you.
Take care. The one and only Andrew McInnis. Go follow him at McInnis Picks. Take advantage, guys. We're long-term services here. And Andrew, one of the best, if not the best in the NHL. They're $150 off the rest of the season. And no, we're going to take one more quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up. ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app. Andrew was mentioning the ECSI VIPs. Anyone want to get involved with the ECSI VIPs? Text, email, all our selections. College basketball is here, and we are ready to fire. We've had a good start there. All the sports through the Super Bowl regularly. That would be $400, $399 to be exact. Veterans Day was yesterday. We saluted the veterans. Anyone would like to get in through the Super Bowl, DM me at EC Sports Investors. Send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Instead of the $400 price, we cut that in half for $199. So you can start today. We started the new week 2-1 yesterday, and we look to extend on the day of profit to tonight. Shout out to Noah Frank, the best in the business. Everyone else, have a blessed day, and we will see you soon.